Hey everyone, welcome back to a new video, and today we're going to be jailbreaking our PS Vita, and this is going to be by far the fastest way to do it, and I'm so excited to get my PS Vita jailbreak video updated for the year of 2023. I know it's been some time since I made my first jailbreak video, but I hope to continue to update all of my videos this year, so that way everything stays up to date and you're up to date with all the latest and greatest releases of Homebrew, jailbreaks, so on and so forth. So stay tuned for this jailbreak. We're going to get started, and I'm going to make it as simple as possible for you so it's easy to understand. Welcome to my Henlo video guide. I'm your host, Robles Jr. Thank you for being here, and I'm excited to help you bring more out of your system. This guide will help you fully jailbreak your system, install 3.65 firmware with Enso, and configure your micro SD card for upgraded storage. What's great about this guide is that all you need is internet connection, and you don't need a PC, and it's very easy. A monkey could do it. Well, maybe. All of this will work for the PS Vita 1000, 2000, and TVs. We do need storage on our Vitas to install certain apps and to configure our micro SD cards with our SD2Vita adapters. But luckily, the Vita 2000 and TVs do have 1 GB of internal storage, so you guys don't need to worry about this if you are using one for this guide. Now, for those who do not have memory cards for their 1000 fat models, you don't need to worry, because I will be showing you additional steps to enable internal memory of 1 GB to install the required Homebrew apps and to enable your SD2Vita. For those on 2000 or PS Vita TVs, you can skip this part, and I'll make sure to let you know with the timestamps and through the video. Now, there are a couple things required for this tutorial. One, make sure your Vita is fully charged and updated to 3.74 firmware to avoid issues in the web browser. This jailbreak requires us to use the web browser, and sometimes running the old firmware doesn't work very well and errors out way too much. So just make sure you're updated to the latest firmware of 3.74. And second, we will need a stable internet connection. Please make sure you have a good, solid Wi-Fi connection on your PS Vita. You don't want to be disconnecting while you're trying to set up the jailbreak on your console. A quick disclaimer, this software has potential to damage your system, so please make sure to follow each step carefully and do not let your Vita sleep during any of the process shown in this video. There is potential to break your system. This is a very minimal occurrence, and it shouldn't happen unless you turned off your system or it dies during installation of the software. I will be following a step-by-step guide online. It's called vita.hacks.guide. It's by far one of the best guides out there, and it has all the info you need to troubleshoot any issues you may have along the way and a thorough guide of the jailbreak. So if you want a step-by-step guide that you want to read, I'll have that link in the description down below. A big shout out and credits to everyone who participated in this amazing jailbreak. Thank you guys so much. For those who were participating in the Henlo, Enso, VitaDeploy, Yamped, and the vita.hacks.guide. Thank you all so much for making this happen. Now, with all that being said, let's begin. Alright, so we're now fully updated to 3.74. We have our internet connection all ready to go. The first thing we're going to do is go to our web browser, open that up, and we're going to be going to this website here called HTTPS. Make sure you get that in there along with the word jailbreak. Jailbreak, there it is. And we will go .psp, I'm glad they use that, psp 2 .dev, and let's hit the enter button. We are now on the Henlo, a PlayStation Vita jailbreak page. Welcome to Henlo. Unlock your Vita and run unofficial games and applications. Supported firmwares 3.65 to 3.74. Now let's hit the Unlock My Vita. You're about to launch the Henlo jailbreak. After the process is complete, the web browser will close automatically and launch the Henlo_JB bootstrap. Let's hit Unlock. So here we are on the Henlo bootstrap. Now we're going to begin with those who are on the PS Vita 1000 models. We're going to actually go through the process of configuring and getting rid of an application called Near. So we're going to replace Near with the VitaDeploy. So hit X on this. And this replaces the discontinued Near app with the VitaDeploy. Requires reboot to take effect. So hit square to replace Near with VitaDeploy. And it will begin to download VitaDeploy and extract the VPK. Backing up Near. Replacing Near, perfect. All done, rebooting in 5 seconds. So that is a success. Alright, now that we're fully rebooted, we have to go back into the web browser. And we're going to have to open that page up again. And it should automatically go up since that was the last page we used. Just like that. Let's unlock our Vita. Hit unlock. And there we go. Now the first thing we're going to do is install Henkaku. Next, hit exit. And we're back at the home screen. Go into your settings. Let's open this up. And go under the Henkaku settings. And make sure you can enable unsafe Homebrew. Go back to the home screen. And run the VitaDeploy application. Now what we want to do is go down to miscellaneous. So we're now going to set up our 1 GB of internal storage for our PS Vita 1000. Next we're going to create an internal memory card. So here it says if anything goes wrong, there's no recovery. Let's hit I understand. Now scroll down to the default 2xxx storage configuration. Press X. Flashing, press any key to reboot. Now that we are fully rebooted, go into your settings. And we will have to reformat our storage. So go into Format and Format Memory Card. And there it is, internal memory card of 1 GB. Hit Next. Format. Hit Yes. All data on the memory card will be deleted. Hit Yes again. Formatting is now complete. The system will restart. Alright, so we are fully rebooted. Let's go back into the web browser and open up Henlo. Let's unlock my Vita. Hit unlock. Now that the Vita 1000 users are up to speed with their internal storage, we can now continue to install the VitaDeploy. For those who are on the 2000 models and TVs, after you install Henkaku, what you want to do is install VitaDeploy. Once that's complete, hit the exit button. And make sure under Henkaku settings, we have the Enable Unsafe Homebrew. Back on our home screen, we want to open up the new VitaDeploy application. We will now install the 3.65 firmware with Enso. So go down to install a different OS. And then we're going to hit the quick 3.65 install. It will now begin to download the updater and the update package part 1. Now a new page will appear, and it's now giving us the firmware information. The current firmware right now is 3.74. Our factory firmware is 1.81, and the target firmware is 3.65. It will also let us know that we will install Enso, and it's saying yes. Do you want to downgrade from firmware 3.74 to firmware 3.65? Hit X to confirm or R to exit. So we're going to press X, and this will continue in 20 seconds. Press X to accept these terms and start the installation, or R to not accept and exit. Let's press X to accept. And it will now begin to update your system to the 3.65 firmware. Alright, so we're now fully rebooted. This is great. Let's double check our settings. Let's go into settings, open this up, and we should now see our system under 3.65 custom firmware with Enso. Go to system, system information, and there we have it, 3.65, and we still have the 1 GB of internal storage. Nice. Now we're going to finalize a few things here. Let's go to auto start settings, and we want to disable download update file for system software. That's going to avoid your console trying to update to the latest firmware of 3.74. And under Henkaku settings, make sure all of this here is enabled. The PSN spoofing, unsafe homebrew, and version spoofing. Under spoof version, make sure this is changed to 3.74. Hit enter and go back. Let's go back into spoof version to make sure it is on 3.74. Good to go. Let's go back home, and we're going to reopen VitaDeploy. And we're going to install the ITLS installer, and this just basically gives us support in these older firmware so we can have the online connection. So let's go to the app downloader, and we want to select the ITLS installer, and we want to hit the download the selected apps. Alright, so it looks like it's successfully installed. Let's exit out of here. And there it is, ITLS-Enso. Let's open this up. So the option we're going to choose here is install the full ITLS package. Hit X. Alright, so now we'll reboot in 3 seconds. Alright, so we're all set. The ITLS installer will help us to connect to the PlayStation Store if you're interested in purchasing anything on there, and also syncing our trophies and connecting our PSN account to our PS Vita. Now the next step we're going to do is install the SD2Vita on our PS Vitas, and here is my 256 GB micro SD card that I'll be using for this demonstration, and the SD2Vita adapter. Now this is a custom made that I specifically made for myself, but any updated SD2Vita adapter should work. So let's prepare our SD2Vita. Let's get it inside our Vita here, just like that. Alright, we're going to go back into VitaDeploy. Let's open that application. Now we're going to head down to miscellaneous, and we're going to format a storage device. Let's select that. And we want to make sure that the target is the SD2Vita and the file system is TextFAT. Now let's press X on the format target storage. Alright, so it's fully formatted. Perfect. Let's go back And we want to go to the app downloader. And we want to select the YAMT installer. Once that's selected, go back up and download the selected apps. Perfect. It looks like it's all installed, so we can exit out of this application. And there is the YAMT installer. Let's open this up. And we're going to be installing the light version, the first highlighted selection there. So install the light version, press X. And now it's going to reboot. Once rebooted, go into the settings. Under devices, go to storage devices. And we now see this new option of YAMT. Let's enable use YAMT by pressing X. Next, make sure the UXO is set to default and the UMAO is set to SD2Vita. Now we're going to hold the power button and power the device off. Let's power back on. All right, let's go back into the VitaDeploy and we're going to install one more application. Let's go down to App Downloader and select Vita Shell. Let's download the selected apps. And it's fully installed. We can exit out of here. Now let's open up Vita Shell. Once you're in Vita Shell, select the UXO folder and press X. Then go down, highlight any of these folders. Then press triangle and mark all. Press triangle again and we're going to hit the copy. Copied 17 files and folders. Press OK. Now we're going to navigate out and go to the UMA folder here. Highlight this folder and press the triangle. And then we're going to hit the paste. And it's going to copy over all of those folders. Nice, we're all done. Now we can exit out of Vita Shell. And let's go back into our settings. And under devices, go to storage devices. And we're going to change our UXO to our SD2Vita and the UMAO to our memory card. We're now going to hold the power button and we're going to power it off. Make sure it's completely powered off, and then we can power it back on. Now let's check our storage. Let's go into settings. Go under system and system information. And we now have our SD2Vita working. Our capacity is 236 gigabytes. So we're now set to start downloading all sorts of fun stuff. This is awesome. Now we can exit out of settings and we're going to go back into VitaDeploy. And let's go to App Downloader. And we're going to download the VitaDB downloader. This is a homebrew store, so you can download all sorts of fun stuff. Let's select that one. We're going to select, let's see, Adrenaline, PKGJ, Custom Themes Manager. Oh, and PS Vita shows advanced console info. Sure, why not? Now that we have all the space, we can add these apps to our Vita with no problem. And it will begin downloading and install these applications on your Vita. All of our apps are successfully installed. We can now exit. And you'll now see a bunch of new bubbles. How exciting. And Adrenaline is basically the full interface of PSP. So you can now run your PSP games, no problem, using this. PKGJ, you can start downloading all sorts of different Vita games, PSP games, and PS1 games. VitaDB Downloader is a homebrew store, so you can download the latest and greatest homebrew emulators, utilities, ports, games, all sorts of fun stuff. And the custom themes manager, you can download custom themes and install them directly onto your PS Vita. And all this stuff is done on your PS Vita. I do have a comprehensive guide for PKGJ. This one does require a little bit of work. We do have to install some plugins, so I do have videos on all of this stuff. And so yeah, that is it, guys. There you have it. Your Vita is fully jailbroken. You can now start using these applications and have a blast. And you now just officially unlock the full potential of your PS Vita. Congratulations. And that is it for the PS Vita jailbreak video guide. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys have any questions whatsoever, please comment down below and I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. And if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. It really would help me out a lot. And if you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any videos in the future. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.